KCAA.
No matter what it is in life that you want, you gotta go out there and get it. Just don't let it come to a sleeper but a dream. Never give up on your goals, stay focused on you. Focus your view, succeed, cause I'm hoping you do. Keep climbing up the ladder, cause the key to success. Go hard and go home, never settle for less. Life is stress, but we gotta deal with it, homie. Send a prayer to the man to put a shield on it. Work hard for what you get, appreciate what you got. You can always improve, just don't stop. Going for your dream to achieve in your life. Gotta take a chance like rolling the dice. It won't come to you, so you gotta go get it. At the end of the day, add up the digits. Miss Price used to say, if there's a will, there's a way. So I live by it until this very day. I kept on mashing and I never gave up. Me believing in myself is the way I came up.
Don't hold you down, you gotta get up. These are your dreams, never give up. Never ever give up.
What's up, team? This is Robert Porter with the I Love San Bernardino County radio show on KCAA NBC 106.5 FM, 1050 AM. We'll talk politics, culture, and history. What's up, Viviane?
Yo, what up, Robert Porter?
We got my co-host in the house. We had an incredible election that we'll get to in a little bit. We all kinds of stuff went on. We did have a grand opening.
Yes, indeed.
We'll get on all that, but I'd like to mention our sponsor, Celebrities Bar and Grill. Max Zaire and Zoe over there have done phenomenal things with our community, including having events there, giving a place for people to have birthday parties. You can go there and just throw a party for anniversary or whatever. Go have a drink. Get a steak special for $9.99 on Tuesday or Saturday, right? And, just go in there and have a good time and hang out. Like, maybe take your wife out and, if you have the kid. You got kids, too? You take the kids and get out of there before 8, though, because, DJ starts up, it gets a little loud. But before that, you can bring the kids. And
I could have swore I saw something about they got some new, lobster dishes or something
that.
Yeah.
I
mean, talk about that.
I really didn't want to speak too much on it because I like to try stuff before but they looked freaking awesome.
The flyer looks great.
And like a lobster pizza.
I actually put butter on the flyer.
Yeah. I'm like, But I'm gonna try those. But I'll try them and we'll give an update on.
There we go.
But it's hard to go wrong with lobster too.
Hey, that's how I feel too. I love seafood.
All right. I'd also like to mention. Of course, Green Shack over there doing their thing, and go try a Green Shack, a Shack Attack, or
the Joker.
Pastrami, Joker. What? They got a lot of names, but the pastrami is incredible. Just the regular sandwiches are really good.
Yes, indeed.
And if you want something like hearty, get the meatball sandwich. Little pieces of cheese in there and garlic, and their meatballs are made of. Beef and pork.
Okay.
So if you don't eat pork, just know that. But if you do,
I hear you.
Good stuff.
There you go.
Our San Bernardino standout of the week, Scott Olson. Scott Olson, man behind the scenes.
All right.
So when Robert Porter got involved in San Bernardino in the very beginning, when I started I Love San Bernardino over 10 years ago now, someone came up to me and wanted to talk. This man was Scott Olson.
All right.
Little did I know that he was a big-time Republican.
All right.
And he was going to try to groom me into the Republican Party.
That's how they do it. They groom. I'm just playing.
No. That is how all of the political parties do it, including the Democratic Party. They will try to groom you as well. And what they do is they want you to see their side, right? But they always tell you that local politics is nonpartisan.
That's what they say. That's what they say.
But it wasn't. I did see his conservative values, right? And I got to learn the sign game, go out there and put up political signs.
Definitely.
I got all the right kind of the rights kind of ideas because I'm pretty center left team.
I hear
so
you.
to understand the other side, Scott Olson helped me do it.
There you
right?
go.
And he introduced me to everybody. Then I worked on a federal campaign for Paul Chabot for Congress, right? So staunch Republican.
Definitely,
right?
definitely.
So like, I was really immersed into something that I didn't agree with, right? But learned to understand that there was things that I could.
Totally,
Yeah.
because there's, I like to tell people I'm conservative with the money, but progressive in my thinking.
Yes,
That's
yes.
where I identify in my political spectrum. I was a Democrat for duration of my life, but been away from left the Democratic Party about 4 or 5 years ago, and now I'm an independent or undecided.
Yeah,
as you would
no
often
political
say.
preference.
No political preference. You know what I mean? Because I see good ideas that I see on the right and the left, and then I see terrible ideas. And I think that we need to get into a mindset of not picking one over the other. Whoever's bringing the best idea for that, whatever we're addressing, it's okay to vote and support that if it's addressing the needs of your community, regardless of who brought it to the table or who authors the bill. Saying that often, many people are unaware that the Affordable Care Act was modeled after what Mitt Romney did in his state, and he's a Republican, right? And so it's people are so entrenched in their sides that they hate this idea, but they hated the ACA, right? Some hated it, but it was a Republican idea.
Yeah, the immigration bill is the same thing right now. It's like ideas that would have never even been, able to join the platform on the Democratic side are there. But like, since they're saying it, like the other team's like, no, that's what we got to get away from.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they're trying to, like you said, you hit that on the head. They're got some legislation that they're trying to do to address the immigration crisis that we're in, but yet future leaders maybe are saying don't support it because they don't. It's like the infighting is ridiculous. And we all suffer as a nation.
If a D and an R, an I, an NPP, whatever it shouldn't decide how you vote. Your brain, how you look at issues. Each of us think differently. So we should each look at an issue differently and still be able to vote the same with some people and the opposite of some people too, right?
Totally.
And even if you, on the next issue, vote the same way.
Definitely,
right?
definitely.
So if you vote lockstep, that's not good for us, right?
I think if you don't take time to cultivate your own opinion and do your own homework, that you are a subservient sheep or lamb. It's being led to the slaughter. You have to think for yourself. You have to advocate for you and your family and what your values are. One thing I think
voting is a way to do that.
Voting is one of the tools that is at our disposal to utilize, and there's many other tools that we can use as well. But I think we forgot one more sponsor there, brother.
I wanted to talk about the politics of Scott Olson, but also, one day he calls me up and says, "Hey, Robert, you want to work at a food bank?" I'm like, yeah, sure. I'd like to help. Not work, but volunteer.
Volunteer, yeah.
And I was like, well, hey, so they start up a food bank at the Home Enabling Services.
I've been there a couple of times.
Yeah, and I
donated to them a few times.
Yeah, I got to do the food bank for, we did about a year. We had a good run, and it taught me a lot.
Beautiful.
About the people and and it's not just people that are unhoused that are getting food. These are families and elders. And, people you wouldn't expect not always that need food.
Definitely, it's many of food insecurities throughout our entire community and throughout our entire nation, sadly.
Yes.
And it's you never know who needs those services. So it's good to see those services being rendered by whoever it may be. I don't care if whatever a political affiliation you may have, if you're addressing the needs of the community, I could rock with you. I could build with you. I could roll up my sleeves and work with you. To me, because it's about the greater good. It's about addressing the needs of humanity. And I wish we could get more into that mindset as individuals, where it's about the greater good, and we're working to make a collective, inclusive future for all of us. You know what I mean? For all of us.
For everybody.
Yeah.
Yes. For all us humans. And that's kind of, and then once Scott realized that I wasn't going to be a Republican, but I'm not going to be a Democrat either.
I hear you.
It didn't bother him in any way, right? He just kept on treating me like a friend, right?
And that's what friends are supposed to be.
That made me feel when you're getting groomed, sometimes those people, once they can't groom you, they
might kick you to the curb.
They're they'll move on to the next or whatever. But like Scott never was like that. He's
Beautiful.
he's always had that nice kernel of like.
Integrity.
Yeah, no. I'm thinking like gossip, maybe.
Okay.
That like you can like for a reporter kind of like me, you can like grab and take other places and see if that kernel of truth might lead to something. Yeah.
Resonate with someone else.
And a lot of times in the past, those kernels of information helped me put some of our politicians under the thumb a little bit, right?
I hear you.
And when you want to change policy or lobby these politicians, that's one way to do it.
Definitely.
But it's easier to do it behind the scenes. And yeah.
Sometimes you have to be on Front Street.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to be behind the
Yep.
doors, behind
Yep.
the scenes.
I have found more. What I should say is I found as much success behind the scenes as hitting them hard straight up.
No, I hear you.
But let's
you used to be
blow back. Let's blow back though.
You used to be at the city council,
Yep.
just smacking them right in the
Rah,
face,
rah,
bro.
rah.
Like,
Yeah, that's why I can't get mad at treasurer, But I'm like, man, but I can't do that no more.
the adage comes to mind, you get more bees with honey than vinegar.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it
Up
seems
the hill.
there you go, just applying,
Yeah,
implementing
she
that.
wanted everyone to come
Together.
and eat together.
Yeah.
All the bees to eat.
Definitely.
So it made sense to me, and she's a great mentor.
Amen. God bless.
So
Margaret
thank
Hill.
you to Ben
Scotto.
Chavez.
Yes, indeed.
And
First
for,
lineage.
For First Lineage Site Services and for sponsoring the Standout of the Week. Scott Olson, thank you for what you've done for San Bernardino.
Amen.
And he's always, he'll bend over backwards to help animals and things like that. So this is the type of guy that you think, wow, he's a hardcore he's a Tea Party guy.
I hear you.
But he's really all there for the community too.
Yeah.
So just remember that even those MAGA guys out there and stuff, they still do care about our community in their way. And there are things that we can compromise and come together on.
It's true. Everyone that is a part of that crowd is not particularly bad or the enemy, right? It's always a mixed bag. You have some that are good. You have some that care and serve the community, and then you have some that are outright racist. And let's just call it what it is. You know what I mean?
And I tend not to associate with that type, right?
Me
but,
either.
but
They usually don't let me in.
Yeah. but let me tell you, they're around,
That's
and
it.
sometimes you'll be associating with people that you won't know, and you'll what they call those little dog whistles things. Then and then I tend to withdraw from that kind of stuff.
Definitely.
But the other thing I want a little kernel of love I'll give to you. I make rules with some of my friends.
Boundaries.
Yes, we aren't, like my friend Jim LaGuardia, we are not allowed to talk about the T word
I hear you.
or the B word.
I hear you.
No presidents.
I hear you.
No federal
I hear
stuff.
you.
Unless it's Pete Aguilar here and locally, maybe,
Yeah, I
but
hear you.
like, we do not talk and if he starts to bring it up, because he has a hard time,
No, I hear
I
you.
look at him like,
Can't go there,
yep,
bro. Can't go there.
because sometimes we'll get heated.
Yeah, and it's
it
not.
doesn't
And
know.
we're getting older. We don't
Yeah.
need to have our stress levels and
Yeah.
cortisol in our blood going up, giving us a greater risk of a heart attack. Like we don't need that. So let's keep it kosher. Let's enjoy the conversations that we enjoy, and we both offer our vantage point. But if it's something that we are diametrically opposed, we don't have to talk about those things. That doesn't mean we don't have to be friends, and we can't cultivate a beautiful friendship during our time.
And there's a good point, and it's easy to make these rules. The beginning of the rulemaking for this is uncomfortable, but the amount of love it saved in the future, right, is worth it, right?
No, totally. I totally agree. And I don't think it's difficult because it's like any other meeting that you attend to is usually accords and an agenda, right? The accords are things that we all agree upon how we're going to conduct ourselves in this meeting space, right? So that's not hard. It's just setting boundaries. As we grow older, we understand the importance of setting boundaries, right? Because if you don't set those boundaries, people may try to take advantage of you or walk over you or make you know what I mean? You have to have boundaries in life. So there's nothing wrong with that.
So having your boundaries, that's the other. There's one more kernel that I'll give you. Agree
To disagree.
Yeah, just agree.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah,
Just to
just
peruse over.
agree. Don't
You're right.
elaborate.
I hear you.
Just that's interesting, right? And get past it, and then subtly change the subject. Oh, I noticed you collect those, or what? You
And
went
like
on
you
this
said,
trip. Yeah,
You did right. Like what you said is agree, but what you modeled was just pivoting from the conversation. Just say, "Oh, I hear your vantage point. I understand. Oh, I better understand your perspective," and then move on to the next topic. That's not me saying I have to agree with you.
Yeah.
Just like I recognize and I hear your vantage point and what you're expressing. Acknowledge, heard.
So I guess what I'm saying is my uncle wouldn't let me get away with that, but like agreeing, he move on to the next thing.
I hear you. So you were more in a self-preservation.
Yes,
kind of
like
situation.
I have no way out of this situation
Other than leaving.
Yeah, I want our family to maintain its cohesion, right?
For the greater good.
Yeah. So when the head of the table leads with the prayer with the T word, you're kind of like. You kind of stuck.
Like
right?
whose house are you eating the meal in is the next question. Because
Yes.
if it's your house, then you have your rules.
So
and
there's
if people,
different
I don't
things-
care who the matriarch or patriarch may be, if they can't respect the rules of your house, they're not welcome there. If you allow them in, that's on you, bro.
So I hope you don't think that Johnny, or anyone that I'm like deceiving them or anything by agreeing. But it's just it helped. Like when I didn't agree, our family, those conversations were very aggressive, and it wasn't like family,
It's sad that people can't respect people's other choices of their autonomy, right? Where people could make up their own mind and opinions. It's sad that people have to force their views, and I think we're in the midst of that in this country and nation right now, where people feel like they have to force their views, and you never get good results. Trying to force yourself upon people.
You don't, and these things don't. These are just my little tools.
How you navigate life.
Yeah, am I squeaking it up over here?
It's
I'm
all
squeaking
right,
it all
all
up.
right. Squeaky
Like,
wheel,
we
get
we
the
need
oil.
some WD-40 on these things. I sound like I'm tooting it up over here, dude. Yeah.
You did, bro.
Yeah,
Oh my God. No.
That smells like rotten eggs. Oh, el infierno. I
Sounds like you've been eating poop, bro. What do you think?
that was like Hugo Chavez went up there at the United Nations. He got it, and he said it was like it smells like fire up here after Bush spoke. Right? That was a classic moment.
I hear you.
All right. Well, anyways, thank you, Ben Chavez. Thank you, First Lineage Site Services.
Definitely. Thank you, Mr. Ben.
And thank you, Yanni, for kind of listening to my perspective there, like how I get around these political conversations, because sometimes you will never win, right? Yeah.
What comes to mind is like say it's like you're having a conversation with like your wife's mother, your wife's parents, right? So your mother-in-law, your father-in-law. Sometimes it's just best to, like you said, just like, okay, I hear you, I agree, and just to keep the sanity, to keep moving,
that's an
because you're only there
interesting
for
idea.
2-3 hours at their house, right? So sometimes you have to bite your lip and.
That's an interesting idea, man.
That's just the real reality.
I really like that.
It's families that have to
Yeah.
apply that
Just
every
kidding.
day.
Just messing around. Hey, did you have to beep that out? That bad humor?
No.
No,
It's
I
all
actually
good.
do care what Yanni says, because I learn a lot from him, man.
And vice versa, brother. We iron sharpens iron, but we diamond cut here.
Yeah, and I don't hang around people that I don't learn from.
You know what?
Yeah.
I totally relate to you
Have
on that.
fun.
Yeah, if it's nothing stimulating or things that inspire me, that's things you learn when you get older as well. Like everybody that you could talk to and relate with doesn't mean that they have your best intentions in mind. You know what I mean?
Or things in common either. Yeah.
As well.
Things in common are important for a good friendship to
No,
last.
totally.
Yeah.
I look for inspiration. I look for people that inspire me, such as yourself, that go out and do community goodwill. It makes me think about how we first initially met, right? Like we didn't know each other, but we're both out here in the community trying to highlight the positive things in our community to dispel the negative stereotypes that we saw perpetuated attached to our community and our beloved home of San Bernardino City, right?
And you were inspiring. Well, like you and Keith Rice, to me, were inspiring for the exercise stuff. Right?
Oh, I hear you.
So I had like former Mayor Valdivia calling me a fat butt. Like he didn't use the A word, but like our engineer rolled out.
But he's not that healthy
so
himself either.
Yeah, and Damon Alexander patted me on the, like.
Well, he's a military man, so they take care of themselves.
You're eating a little, So I realized, oh man, and then I seen what you all are doing, walking every day, doing exercise. So
Definitely.
So it was inspiring to me.
Definitely, and vice versa, brother. Just your passion and love for San Bernardino. I have to say, like, from my vantage point, I think you are one of the most passionate, caring people about our community, and you are so inclusive in your thinking that that you care about all aspects of our community, all the social economic levels, all the cultures and ethnicities that dwell here. You really are a model of the kind of human that we should be all striving for.
Well, oh my gosh, Cal State San Bernardino
Go
created
Yotes.
something, man.
Go Yotes.
Pacific High School.
Go Cardinals.
Yeah.
Cardinal pride.
Wait a second. Hey! All the way down to, I saw Riley had won academic awards. Riley Prep did this year, right?
Awesome.
Today.
Awesome. I had a friend that mom used to teach at Raleigh back in the day.
Yeah, I went back there and I did a paleo day and I looked in their library and their yearbooks. I'm in them.
There you go.
Like seeing my little face in there. I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
Time, man, how it flies, man.
It truly does. Yeah, enjoy those kids right now because you believe they'll be 18 and having their
Yeah,
own
you turn
kids,
around
right?
2 times, they're gonna be taller than you.
Yeah. And for me, I don't have no kids, so I just sat
Not
back
yet,
and watched.
not yet, not yet.
No, I don't plan on it.
Never know.
I watch everybody else's, and I'd rather treat all San Bernardino kids like my kid. Like, how could I give them? Well, give them history, right?
You have
like
a very similar heart to Margaret Hill.
Well, thank you.
Very similar
and
heart.
Dr. Hill was the only
Dr.
one I
Hill.
could ever get to come in here on Mother's Day, right? Right? So, because she was San Bernardino's mother. Right?
Amen. And
didn't have any kids either.
Yes.
So, like, was available on Mother's Day, right?
I hear you.
And I did appreciate that. And I do
Definitely.
miss you on Mother's Day, Dr. Hill.
Definitely.
We miss
God
you
rest
very
her soul.
much.
Definitely.
Man,
Definitely.
I've been
So
finding myself
inspiring.
thinking about her a lot lately. She's a wonderful woman.
Yes, indeed.
Should we go through these elections? We got about a little bit.
Before we go into the elections,
go
we
ahead.
got to get that last sponsor. Motivational realizations, the energy of positive thought.
Yeah. That's all. This is. We have a new segment, the motivational realization segment.
All right.
And with this segment, how about you provide one positive something every time?
Well, definitely. I will go to my Instagram page, and one of my quotes that I shared, and I think it's a powerful quote, and I offer those to our listeners today. It says, "Don't fear the journey. Fear not finding the courage to set out upon your own journey." Because people was like, oh, this path could lead here or lead there. It could go. You'll never know if you never put one foot in front of the other. So don't fear where the journey leads you. Fear not having the courage to walk your path, to set upon your journey that's meant for you. So hoping to stoke people's courage and strength to believe in their gifts and talents and utilize those things, because I really believe that they will create a path for you. There'll be opportunities meant for you. Those dreams and visions are unique to each one of us, and it's not to tease us. It's to show us what's there in our futures if we're willing to render the efforts,
Very inspiring. And so I was sitting in front of Amy's house one day, and I looked at the top E,
The awning,
right?
yeah.
And it was like brown.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking, I don't know if I can get up there. I don't, that needs to be painted. I don't know. Kind of blowing it off,
Mm-hmm.
Then I was like, you know what? I think I could do that.
Yes, you can.
Then so I went and got the ladder over there, and I just did
tools.
that one thing. Then I looked back, and I was like, you know what? I could do more.
Amen.
Right?
That's how it be.
All of a sudden, now the house is all,
it's fully painted, looking beautiful, a new fresh coat of paint, a new life.
That could be your life, right?
Exactly. See it, I say all the time, look at however you need to visualize the world for you to be successful. If you love teddy bears and look at that task you have to do as hugging the teddy bear, and each step you do is hugging the teddy bear. However, you need to visualize the world that we each are surrounded by to help propel you towards your dreams and help you encourage you to render the efforts. Because, like how you just said, it's the battlefield is of the mind. You know, my company is called Motivational Realizations, the energy of positive thought, right? Because a defeated mind renders no action. It's already defeated, right? But if you think, if you have a thought or an inkling that you could, that I may be able to, and you start cultivating that, growing that, no different than how your analogy on planting seeds, right? It's that same thing. You have to cultivate your mind. You have to plant the seeds within your mind of, I can, I will be successful. These positive affirmations you could say to yourself, because there's power in the tongue. So often people speak death over their own life and speak negativity over their own life, and then they wonder why they keep having negative experiences in life, because you're speaking it into existence.
Hey, I am guilty of, like, I will catch myself, and you got to practice too, team.
Definitely.
You'll catch yourself thinking something negative when you should not go down that road at all. Anxiety is stuff that hasn't even freaking happened, right?
I hear you. It's like self-inflicted anxiety,
Yeah.
and it's like, why do that to yourself, bro? And just, man, throw your name in the house, shoot the dice. It's whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. Accept it, but don't be fearful of what could happen and never find out what can actually happen.
Yeah, you hear a siren. That doesn't mean that one of your family members is going to the hospital, right?
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So, like, but if you think that immediately,
It could throw you in a state of disarray and
catch
panic.
yourself.
Yes.
And it's not always easy to do.
Easier
and
said than done.
If you have anxieties like me, wow, like sometimes you can't you start going into that realm, and you're like, I got to get out of this.
Yeah, you got to reel yourself back in.
So that's when I use a water. There's a technique where you either take a bath or shower, or you water with the lawn.
There you go.
Or just playing in water somehow, right?
Definitely.
Or listen to water on the internet even.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But
it helps.
and I think the key is, like how you said, find those things that calm you down. That's going to be different for each individual. For the example, you show how you getting out, because you love gardening. So being out there in the lawn, watering the plants, I know that centers you, because that's one of your passions, you know. So each person has to find what centers them, also where they can direct their mind when they're in a time of crisis or anxiety. You have to know what brings you peace. You know what I mean? So identify those. Each person has to take the time to identify what that is for themselves.
So as you're finding that peace, right? You find that peace slowly by practicing, training your mind to realize, okay, anxiety has occurred. It's taking up my brain when I could have been thinking about how I'm going to succeed.
Amen.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So if you start thinking on that, how you're going to succeed. So when I'm in the garden, sometimes my mind will go into, I gotta pay a bill or whatever.
I hear the real realities, right?
But then, like, I think, okay, I know I have to pay a bill. I will go pay that bill.
There you go.
That's all you can do at that point,
Definitely.
right? Besides actually technically paying it, but you're gardening, so you can't do that now, right? So once you make your effort, team, in your mind, let that be it. That's the spot to stop. You can't, like, I had so much problem with anxiety in being able to, like, leave archaeology and go back to get my master's.
I hear you.
I was very scared.
I hear you.
And like what you were saying, like, I just needed to like get the courage up to do it, right?
Yeah.
And now it's done.
And it's done.
Yeah.
And you have a master's, and that's awesome.
With even having anxiety, right? So, like,
So, like, I love the fact that you said that. Regardless of whatever conditions that we may have or we may be dealing with, it still doesn't have to limit your growth and what you can achieve, you know? And you're a prime example of that. Like you said, even with anxiety, you still found the courage and the strength to work through that to achieve a goal that you wanted for yourself. And you prioritized that goal, and you didn't allow your mind to mislead you, even though you might have to battle through thoughts, right? But you still or able to work your way through, navigate it, and
Battling
be successful.
thoughts.
That's what it is. It's the battlefield of the mind, bro. Like that's our ultimate battlefield. Is that of our own thinking.
And then seriously, once you slay those little battles, because there's only usually a few things that, unless you really have a lot of anxiety, a few things you're worried about. You slay the position in those that you can only go to,
Definitely.
right? You've thought how far you can go. That's it. Nothing else has happened. It hasn't occurred yet.
Yeah.
So you focus on actually doing the mission, whatever
Definitely.
it is, and then you'll stop thinking about that stuff. Right?
Definitely. That makes me think of like how I'll say it like this. As many people say, you only can control what you can control. You know what I mean? Most of this whole experience, a lot of it is really out of our hands.
Yep.
All we can really control is how we speak, how we conduct ourselves as human beings, and how we internalize the things that happen to us. That's pretty much the only thing we have control over in this lifetime.
And we can try to create situations that give us good emotions. Right?
You want to put yourself in spaces that help, like you said about how you're talking about the friendship. You want to avoid either things are helping you grow and produce a greater yield, or things are killing you and the crop is dying. You get to choose what spaces you want to be in. And who's your friends and all that.
And that could be the way to the happiness that you're seeking.
Definitely.
Right? All of us seek that happiness
and
or
fulfillment,
that calmness, that I don't know, like I guess that sense of belonging to the earth.
Yes.
Like
our place in this experience, in this lived experience, because it's such a limited experience. It goes by so quickly, and we'll be departed longer than we ever live. That's why I focus on living life
right.
within the living. That's what we
anxiety, it's amazing how much brain power it takes away from you, right?
Holy.
So like if you can learn how to like whip on that beast,
Definitely.
That's extra brain power for you, right?
Be more creative.
I'm glad you brought. I'm sorry I missed motivational realization. This wonderful segment right here. It's but like I'm glad we talked about this because it's been a common theme on I Love San Bernardino. People mentioning, well, how do you relieve anxiety? And I think we just did a good job of going through some answers.
I think we both shared our lived experience and how we deal with it. But I would also, if someone's like having a hard time with anxiety as well, there are resources available. You could check, you could reach out to a San Bernardino County Department of Behavioral Health. Yeah. There's resources there. You don't have to suffer in silence as we often do, sadly, especially as men. Mm-hmm. We can't do that because that manifests in health issues. You
end up breaking down and crying for 3 days or something.
It could be that. It can manifest in a heart attack. It can manifest in high cholesterol. It's nothing but negativity when we choose
anxiety as well.
Yes, all these things
it's detrimental. So that there's that belonging again. Like that's probably one of our most healthiest states, where we feel like we found our place in the world. Right?
Definitely.
And I have to admit, I don't feel like I've totally found my place, but I think I found my home.
Amen.
Right?
Amen. It's aspects of it because it's an ever changing. Ebb and flows, right? It's a constant experience, right? It's always changing and shifting. But something that you might like this one, because I know you love trees, you love plants, you love gardening. I say that as human beings, like we should be no different than a tree, right? With each given day that we're allowed to be in the sun and live, we should try to grow closer to the sun. We should be growing with each given day, right? Because we're really no difference. That tree has a time of life such as we have a time of life. And each day that tree is here, it strives to grow stronger, the roots to dive deeper, the limbs to rise closer.
Make more of them.
To procreate, to make sure that tree is still around and has a future. We should be no different. I think we make things so complicated. I know a lot of the native and like tribal cultures really find great reflection from nature because that nature is also a teacher, it really is our greatest teacher in reality.
What the craziest thing, Yanni, is that this is nature. We literally are nature. This building, everything, we are just within the Earth system.
Yes, we are.
And created these things, but they're not here forever. There we go. So like, as long as we, realize that we're part of this system,
Yeah.
we can help make it a better place. But
Yes,
if
we can.
we start pulling ourselves away, separate, then it's not working as
Definitely.
good. All right, well, we talk forever, dude.
Yeah.
We need our own show just for talking, man. But I do want to get through these
Definitely.
these local races. So we'll start with the third ward. So we had Juan Figueroa and Christian T. Shaughnessy. So Councilman Juan Figueroa won with 919 votes. So that's 53%. And Christian Shaughnessy has 793. It doesn't look like you'd be able to pick that up.
Yeah, Juan, I believe, with him getting over 50% plus one, I think he won outright, is what the paper was saying. So
he won outright as long as the mail-in ballots that
don't
come in.
catch up, I hear. So
Which
it sits.
Yeah, I don't like to say till the final tally, but it really does look like Juan got above 50%. And I guess his plan, what he told me, was that he was going to walk. He was not going to respond to any of that negative stuff. He's not going to deal with that. He's just going to focus on being positive and doing his walk.
Well, hey, that sounds like the energy of positive thought to me, and it sounds like it works.
Yeah, it worked for him. So, well, congratulations, right?
Congratulations.
Yep.
And then we also want to point out that Christian ran a really clean race, you know what I mean? He did a really good job. And don't give up. Just prepare yourself.
It's his first race. He's young.
Yeah. So
if I was going to make any suggestions, I did feel like he got a little aggressive. Yeah, I think maybe if he wasn't as aggressive, he might have attracted more people. But he didn't get to talk to Dr. Hill about that.
I hear you. You didn't get to talk to the guru. If you would have been able to talk to the guru.
She pulled me aside to tell me that I was getting crazy. So
God bless Margaret Hill, Dr. Hill.
Like when that happens, you gotta listen. All right, so let's move on.
All right.
So we got the 5th ward of San Bernardino, and we had Henry Nickel, Rose Ward, Ben Reynoso, Chaz Kelly, and Kim Canas, right? So Kim Canas won with 36.9% of the vote, and that's only 1,200 votes.
No, it doesn't take much, really.
Yeah,
especially in certain wards.
So total votes in the whole election in that ward is 3,300. There's got to be 60,000 people in that area.
It's abysmal.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird to me. So it looks like Kim Canas is going to be in a runoff with Henry Nickel, former councilman of the 5th Ward, who has 25%. So in third with 20 would be Councilman Ben Reynoso. So it looks like he's not going to be councilman. So he'll probably finish his term here. And then, I've heard rumors that Ben may, Congress, all kinds of different things.
I think he has limitless potential.
Yeah, he's
I think
so young,
So young, and I think that one of the fact that he's black and Hispanic, I think that's such a unifier, advantage that I think, I'm not going to say advantage, but just a added bonus that he has, that he can reach out to both communities because he has both lived experiences, right? You know what I mean?
Well, there could be a family food advantage for sure.
Yeah, we know they're eating good in the neighborhood.
but that's what he did mention when I saw him at the Chubsy's grand opening. Where are my Chubsies?
Hey, Chubsy's out. We're real for real.
We saw
Get your smash burger.
Yeah, we saw Victor and Joe and Pat, the whole team over there at Chubsy's. Jason Lola was, over there,
awesome
doing he helped do the girl Chubsies, all the gear,
all the logos. Yeah.
Incredible time. The mayor showed up.
Yes, indeed.
Ben showed up. It was a good thing.
Frank Montez showed up with the Hispanic
Chamber of Commerce.
Hispanic.
Yanni showed up.
Small band.
Yeah.
You know I was gonna.
What'd you have? Did you have a double?
I got the Wubsinator.
Yeah.
Triple, man.
Oh,
don't sell me short with jalapenos, bro.
We've been talking about we wanted to try like a 9-1 or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
to
I had a 5. Patrick hooked me up with a 5 at the Empire Only's event.
He wants to try Chubsies. You know what we'll do is we'll have to invite them over here and bring some burgers, man.
No, we're going to go and patronize their new brick and mortar. So we just have to coordinate, and we're going to go over there and have a nice meal. And that even leads me to the idea of how I've been telling Mark and others, like, we need to organize a KCAA like meet and greet or KCAA radio festival where all the hosts from all the shows come in. It's only going to benefit all of us. So I'm more than willing to take the lead on that and organize that. So we're going to make that happen.
But I still would love to see a smash burger made right here.
Oh, I hear you.
On the air. All right.
Just bring in a hot plate.
Yeah, you see what I'm getting at here.
Definitely, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
So we'll. I already told them we're going to celebrate their grand opening, and we'll give it a little time because they are stressed out. They got a lot of work. Everyone's eating there.
I think they sold out on Saturday. What an awesome thing, right?
Yeah, their soft opening. I went to the soft opening. I had to turn around and leave, man, because they allowed it sold out.
Everybody ate all the food.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's a good problem to have.
Yeah, and a problem that inventory will fix, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's more.
It just takes
more
time.
Smash burgers.
Yeah. You gotta, since they make it all out of fresh meat.
Yeah.
and then they, have it, ground and everything. Oh.
Definitely. And it's going to take them a time to sense when the high demand times are, and on Saturdays and Sundays increase the volume.
The high
Friday,
demand is in my belly all day long,
oh,
man.
I hear you.
Yeah, and I
Don't
want one right now, man.
Don't tell the cardiologist.
Yeah,
though.
don't tell him. Especially, get some jalapenos on it too.
Yes, grilled jalapenos and grilled onions.
Ooh. All right.
Next
ward. So it's going to be Henry Nickel, and I just wanted to mention one thing. Rose Ward, you got 133 votes. It wasn't a lot, but you have heart. She really had heart. Don't give up. Please keep going, man.
Yeah.
You're getting your name out there.
Amen.
Next time you might win.
You never know.
Yeah.
But you will never win if you don't throw your name in the hat.
Yeah.
So great job on that regard, and throw it in again.
And we will watch this runoff, and I definitely will be inviting Henry Nickel and Kim Canas on this show.
That'd be nice.
Yes, they will.
I haven't seen Mr. Nichols in a long time.
Yeah, they've actually both came on for the Kim came on for this election, but the election before Henry came on for mayor.
Awesome.
So he'll come in, and he's always a fun guest, man.
Definitely.
One time, him and Tim Prince were going at it on here. We had him go already, about homelessness. Yeah, like he's a good guy. He's good. All right, we got a 6th ward. We got Mario Flores, Bessine Littlefield Washard, and Councilwoman Kim Calvin. All right, and Mario Flores won with 820 and 51.60%. Bessine's coming up from behind, but she has a lot to come. I don't think.
He might, like you said, it was not over yet till we get the final election results. But it looks like he may have won it outright as well.
And we tried to get Mario on 2 times. We had
I met the brother. I actually met him.
We didn't work it out, but I'm sure he'll be willing to come on again. Yeah.
If he is to be the future council member, we would love to have him on to interview him.
And during this during this time where you're council person elect, but not really the council person, it's a perfect time to come on the radio and
share your vision.
And exactly what Kimberly Calvin did
prior to her winning seat 4 years ago.
Because she had she had that long period where she was just a councilwoman elect. So, that's what happens when you have over 50% of the vote. You don't have to go through a runoff.
Yeah, you win outright.
So if Mario does keep this 51%, he will not have a runoff. Definitely. All right, for the 7th ward, and we go back. Councilwoman Calvin, great work. I mean,
that's what you said earlier.
238.
Write-ins.
Yeah, write-ins. Someone wrote the name down,
Definitely.
Right? So, I mean, I didn't expect that much. So you did great. Like
in that regard, totally.
Bad circumstances. You probably are feeling bad about this, but know that that's still good numbers.
It was a good effort. It was a valiant effort.
And it ain't over. 2 years is coming right around the corner. 4 years is coming right after that. Yep. 8 years is right at,
I hear you. Yeah. It will not be the last that we see of
I watched Henry Nickel leave, and he run for mayor, so it's you know, you never know what's going to happen.
It could mean that there's something higher and better for you as well.
And you know, being director over there at the Coma Unity Center, that place is awesome. Like,
Totally.
there's always something to do, you know. That place has been an inspiration for me. And Kevin running the garden over there, I always get ideas all the way.
He's doing great work over there. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, we got some dill out of that garden the other day.
There you go. Great with salmon.
All right, we're on the 7th, Yanni. We're on the 7th.
All right.
We made it all the way to the 7th. All right. So we had Damon Alexander, Councilman, Treasurer Ortiz, and Jim Penman. We had you interviewed Jim on the show.
Yes, indeed. Nice fellow.
Treasurer won with a 983, so 38.56. Jim Penman got second with 32.33, and Damon Alexander got third with 29. I still don't think it's possible for Damon to come back. I don't, it's not over till it's over.
Yeah, it's not over till it's over.
But it looks like Treasurer Ortiz and Jim Penman are going to have a runoff in the 7th Ward.
Yes, indeed. That's
so
what it looks like.
We will have to have them both back on here
Definitely.
to let us know what a little bit more about what the differences are between them.
It would be nice, and it might not be advantageous, right? But if we could have both of the candidates running for that ward here at the same time, and if we could keep it kosher and everything, we might have to create some accords, like we were speaking about earlier, set some boundaries.
I always wondered how well that would work, and we would have to from the beginning call it a forum.
I hear
kind
you.
of just be honest.
I hear you.
But totally possible.
Listeners want to know.
Yeah, and just do what Valdivia he wanted every single question written down. Or he was going to get up and leave.
But we can cater to that, because a lot of times when people are on panels, they usually do get the questions ahead of time. So that's and then usually the fastballs are when you open up for Q&A and the people start throwing questions that their questions up there. Then that's when it could you got to address the issues of the community, the constituents. Those are the best times.
So congratulations, Treasurer. You kicked butt there. But if Jim Penman wouldn't have been in the race,
she would have probably won outright.
Yeah. Well, no. I don't know where those votes go.
I hear what you're saying. It would probably be a runoff.
It'd be split. It would have been split. So it would have been a very, very even race.
You don't think that if Mr. Penman wasn't in the race, you're not sure that anybody would have got 50 plus 1, and that if they would have definitely been a runoff, and that probably would have
very close. That
probably would have been the result.
Yeah. So we're gonna see how close it was once we have this election, of course.
When is the final total? Because I know tomorrow will be a week removed. Well, this is technically the last day before the 2 weeks.
At the top. Let me go all the way to the top here. It usually says the next time. Next update March 12th at 4 p.m. So tomorrow. I don't know when the last day is.
I hear you.
It feels like we waited a couple weeks for Sandra's.
Yeah, it seems like, because I know the updates, after you get past that first week, the updates come less and less frequently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And Sandra's was so close. And that Kimberly Calvin's at one time was so close that you're like, we're watching it every single day.
For real. Talk about anxiety.
Yeah. So you can do this too, team. I'm looking at the Registrar of Voters unofficial election results right now.
Yes,
so you can pull it up and go right to it. It tells everything from all the presidential counts. I will mention, since we did have the fire chief on the show, that the San Bernardino County Fire Protection District Measure W, and for yes for it got 43, and for no, which the chief was supporting here on the show, and Tanya was 1 with 56%. So the people spoke there. I guess they want fire. I kind of I don't like new taxes, but
none of us do.
Yeah, but I like the fire department coming when I call. That
True indeed.
Yeah. So I take the good with the bad. I guess we're paying more taxes.
I just had the honor of getting a tour of the Redlands Fire Department this this past Friday, with the battalion chief. So it was very interesting.
They didn't hire you right on?
You know what? I picked up some of the equipment. I was able to pick it up, but I definitely got to focus on the health even more if you really want to be. But they're hiring.
Oh,
They're looking. They're looking for people. But you got to get that EMT and a few things before you could really apply, because they don't have their own academy, kind of like how Rancho Cucamonga Fire Department, they have like their own academy that they could, hire the kids right out of high school and send them through their academy to get all the qualifications, the EMT and all that, and to become firefighter. It's a great profession. It does come with risks, right?
Yeah.
But it pays good as an honorable profession. You know what I mean? So I really appreciated that tour and getting able to ask questions of people and pick up some of the equipment and just see some of our first responders and what they do in our community.
Oh, that's awesome. I got to visit with the superintendent of schools, Mauricio, over at the San Bernardino Unified School District today.
Awesome.
We had the
Awesome.
Vision 2030 thing. So what they're doing is they're putting together a pamphlet that they're gonna mass produce to give out everywhere to attract future students and students to our school district.
Awesome.
Much of the focus was on making it feel like San Bernardino. In a positive sense, and not let the negative seep into the thinking, right?
Definitely.
Because the negative sometimes seeps in from people who don't live here.
Definitely.
They think, if we mention it, we're coming out of it. But when you come from an area where it's always mentioned, right?
Yeah.
You want to start from zero, team. You don't want to start from negative, whatever it is.
Definitely.
Right?
I hear what you're saying.
So we worked that out, and they love the ideas of that, and some incredible people there, and I think we fulfilled the task.
Right path.
And they're going to present it at the school board meeting in early April.
Awesome, right around the corner.
Get to go and have a good time at the school board meeting for a day.
There you go.
We'll invite you there too.
Well, if the schedule lines up, I
you
got
busy
many
man,
a hat.
You a busy man, man. You a busy man.
Man. Pray for a brother.
So you just you're doing your fellowship now again?
Yes. I'm with the. Shout out to the Redlands Chamber of Commerce for being a part of the second cohort of Redlands leaders, and it's been a good experience. On Friday, got to speak with the mayor, Mr. Ed Tejada. We also spoke with the city planner, the city manager, one of the former district supervisors for Ward 3 and former council member for Redlands. We talked to the interim police chief as well as one of the battalion chiefs as well. So It was awesome to be able to interact. And then also one of the senior managers with, I want to say Parks and Recs, but that might not be exactly the title of the department. But engaging with the leadership, right? And a lot of them are elected leaders. And it was an awesome experience, just This first workshop was talking about government and the systems that are needed to have a thriving community such as Redlands is, So it was an amazing experience.
The Mayor of Redlands will be a great interview.
You know what? And he remembered me because when I was on Ferran Dogier's show, shout out to Ferran Dogier and the Sports Collective, I came in and the mayor had just got off a Kyle and Sam's show. So I had a chance to talk with him, engage, and he remembered me from the radio station. I said, we would love to have you back. So I've been planting some seeds, even with the, we can even bring him the president of the Redlands Chamber of Commerce, and we might even be able to reach out to the Miss Chief Tolbert of the Redlands Police Department. So she might want to come on.
You know what? That sounds incredible. Plant your seeds, my
All
friend.
right.
I want to thank San Bernardino. We love you very much. It's going to be an incredible week. Enjoy this.
Amen.
It's going to be hot quick, team. So
man,
enjoy these little days of love
We're
right
going to want
now.
the rain back sooner than later once this heat come back.
All right, and this is Robert Porter, Nipiani Lockhart, and we are out of here.